I'm back. Road Rants on The Mandalorian. So I thought we would go through the trailer and sort of do a little breakdown on it. Okay. Now, Disney panel quick items. I did watch the panel, and Ewan McGregor did come out. Obi Wan Kenobi is confirmed. The series is a go, and it starts shooting next year. All the scripts are done, and Ewan McGregor walked out. So I reported that a few days ago that was coming down the pipeline, and I first reported it back in November of last year. It was coming. So here we are. Obi Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series. Looking forward to that. Now, okay, so we opened this whole tidbit with all of these Stormtrooper helmets laying around. And I'm going to try to do this in a way where maybe I won't get like copyright flagged. Okay, let's just stop it right there. We see all the helmets on the spikes. It's nuts. It's crazy imagery for Star Wars, right? Definitely gritty. Reminds me of a scene in last season's Walking Dead, or maybe it was last season's, where there was a scene of a bunch of characters and they had their heads on. You just don't normally associate something like Star Wars to The Walking Dead, though, right? And that's not really about. I know a lot of people are sort of out on The Walking Dead, but you get my point. The images is not something you normally put together with a Star Wars property. So that's pretty wild. And I mean, it looks like we're on Tatooine right now. I'm guessing. And it's imagery. I mean, this is nuts. For a Star Wars TV show, which tells you right there, even from like Obi-Wan, right? They're going to put some real money behind these series. And I've said prior, as much as we sort of probably hate it, I think for the older generation, the TV shows are where we're going to get our Star Wars content. I don't really are going to be made in the direction that we're going in. I suspect the movies are going to be made to draw in, and these TV shows are going to be able to be done in such a high quality. And frankly, if I don't have to leave the theater to consume my Star Wars, I believe that's the direction that television is, or that entertainment is going anyway. Some famous actor said that they are actively seeking, like Kevin Costner. It's the number one rated cable show, and it is a phenomenal show. And you wouldn't expect an A-lister like Kevin Costner to be in a TV show. And it's number one on TV right now. So that tells you something. There is an audience for A-list movie stars to show up on TV. And you look at this imagery, the greens. I have no idea what planet this would be on. Okay. That is, of course, the Mandalorian ship. I will let you know that we'll get to a scene and I'll extrapolate on it. In case you don't know yet, the Mandalorian has been greenlit for a second season. And it's supposed to be, from what I understand, 8 episodes. We do not know if that is coming by way of weekly or every other week. Let's go back a notch. Okay, so we have Carl Weathers. The Carl Weathers. Number one, who are the 856 Rian Johnson fans that gave this a thumbs down? Are they insane? So He plays a character called Grief Kargan. Okay. He is kind of a liaison for what he's the head of what's called the Bounty Hunters Guild. Okay. So he's sort of all the bounty hunters come to him, I guess, in that outer rim area, and he is who they get their from. Okay. And if you've watched any of sort of the bootleg footage that came out of Celebration, and it's phenomenal. I'll be the first to tell you it's better than this trailer actually, because they show you they show you 5 the actual episode, and it's nuts. And then it kind of goes into a little sizzle reel, and so it's really phenomenal. If you look find it, this thing has been viewed nearly 500,000 times. It's been out about an hour. So it's his position in the show. He is sort of the ringleader of the bounty hunters. So phenomenal imagery. I mean, look at that shot. There is Gina Carano's character. She is and I don't know the name of her character. She is playing an ex-rebel shock. Okay, so she was part of the Rebel Alliance. And I guess maybe now she's working with bounty hunters. I don't and of course, as we start watching the show and sort of we'll fully break down her character and exactly what it is she's doing. Obviously, she's going to have a very physical role. You saw her in some of the bootleg footage out there. But I mean, she looks like she's going to be a strong character. And look at that. All right, we'll go back another notch. Wow. Bounty hunters. And by the way, I think that, and if I can get to it and stop it, this guy right here, I believe, is comedian Bill Burr. Which when I heard that, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So I'm a big Bill Burr guy. So I thought that was pretty cool. Okay. I just noticed this as we brought this up. Looks to be an Ugnaught on top of this creature right here. I would be that this Ugnaught is Nick Nolte. There's rumors that he is playing. He did some special effects work as an Ugnaught, and I bet you this is Nick Nolte right here on top of this creature. And I mean, that looks visually phenomenal. I mean, you would not know that this is a television series. That's the crazy whole thing, is that this is a TV series, right? So, I could be, but I'm willing to bet you we know Nick Nolte is in this as an Ugnaught, or that was the leaks that came out. And I do have video, you can check them out. But I'm willing to bet you that is Nick Nolte. There's an awesome shot of the Mandalorian troopers that we saw from Rogue One. Now, that shot a second ago that we got of, let's go back to it. Right there, this shot of the desert and the Mandalorian walking through it, this is where you have the influence of old Sergio Leone Westerns. which John Favreau did say influenced him. The Good and the Bad and the Ugly, a few dollars more. The man, what they call him, the man with no name, Blondie, Clint Eastwood. Spaghetti westerns, and they wasn't. Clint wasn't the only one that did spaghetti westerns. There was an old guy that was in The Good and the Bad and the Ugly. His name was Lee Cleef. Awesome. If go watch some of his old movies. He usually plays a bad guy. But the Sergio Leone westerns heavily influenced John Favreau in thinking about the setting for the man. So I find that fascinating. I love westerns. So essentially, I'm getting a Star Wars set television show that is going to feel like a western mixed with Star Wars. It's kind of like my perfect storm. Okay, I said before that my Star Wars is different than other Star Wars fans. A lot of them. I love Han Solo. He's my favorite character, but I loved Boba Fett. I loved the smugglers, the bounty hunters, the fast ships, the Falcon. That's my Star Wars. Okay, and I mean you can look up. That's a Boba Fett figure. I've got another one up here that I don't know that you can see. Right there. I'm just a massive fan. I like Django. Equals to, Boba's daddy. So this is like my perfect Star Wars show. Okay. Okay. Giancarlo Esposito, Gus Fring from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Bad guy. He is going to be an ex-Imperial of former importance kind. Okay, and he's leading these rogue, sort of after the Empire death troopers. In some of the leaked footage, there was a stormtrooper that carried a flamethrower. I have a feeling he is going to be the main bad guy in this thing. Okay. It's my understanding that essentially he would like to restore his own version of imperial reign. He may have even been like what they call a regional governor, or maybe Werner Herzog's character was a regional imperial. Imperials had these regional governors, okay, and they sort of were their own sectors, parts of the galaxy. And it's my belief that he say, well, okay, we're going to have my own version of law, and he probably crosses past Mandalorian, and we have this big tie up. Okay. He's a fantastic actor, by the way. Hey, and there's a shot of the man himself, Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian. Just shot. That helmet is crazy. And of course, there is the rifle influenced in the Star Wars holiday special. Way back in the day, Favreau wanted to put that rifle in this show. And I mean, that's cool. Jon Favreau knows Star Wars. He is absolutely a Star Wars fan. I've been sort of beat Favreau and Filoni to sort of run Lucasfilm as a tandem, however that would work. And I think Favreau is sort of qualified for that job because of his experience with large tentpole films and his experience. He obviously, by looking at this, knows Star Wars. And of course, he was on the Clone Wars. And uh, Filoni's got a lot of trust in Favreau, which is a big deal. November 12th. Oh, there's a speeder bike. Let's see if we can tell who's on said speeder bike. I don't know for sure. That may be Pedro Pascal on that speeder bike without the helmet on. I don't know. Not. Um, that does sort of look like his hair, though. So I guess we'll find out. Wow, AT-AT, TST, really. Okay, look at this imagery. The Mandalorian, and this is our glimpse, one of the glimpses we get of the bounty hunter droid IG, which is the same kind of IG assassin droid that IG-88 was of Empire Strikes Back fame, right? And a lot of people don't know this, but there is supposedly a story where IG-88 actually shows up on Bespin ahead of Boba Fett to get Han Solo, and off, and Boba nearly fries his ass. Okay, so, and in fact, the room where C-3PO was torn apart, somewhere in that room, IG-88 is supposed severely damaged. Okay, so and I don't think it's the IG unit that's laying over to the side. That's supposed to be the room that Boba and IG-88 tied off in. That's just sort of a Star Wars nugget. I don't know, but that's what I've heard. So there's a ship. Look at, I mean, look at him. Oh, there he is. He's wearing double bandoliers, and his body will literally spin 360 while firing a weapon. Okay. So, and the imagery in this thing, let's go back a half a tick here. That ship looks cool. Can't tell what kind of ship is firing on him. Okay. Manning like a mounted turret version of like a Gatling gun. That is insanely wild. And it is my understanding, because you actually, if you look real close, his those stormtroopers from some of that leaked footage, and this was a great scene, by the way. Four stormtroopers pull on the Mandalorian, and he tells them to lower their weapons. He says, "You first." They said, "We've got you 4-1," and he says, "I like those odds." Badass scene. So, and you notice how dirty and dungy the stormtroopers are. I mean, they're just like, the reign of the Empire is over. They're wearing bothered to clean their uniforms at all. They don't have anybody telling them to maintain. And okay, this is the fight scene towards the end where it looks to me like he is, and I mean, it's just, he's like, and shooting this guy. This is, my gut feeling is this is going to be a scene exhibiting his, before he takes on what's going to be the main bounty. This looks like a scene where he may be clownies and they want to give you sort of an idea of how truly badass he is going into the main story. That's speculation, okay? And there was sort of one of the money shots, and if you look, the carbonite, but if you look closely, there's 4 rows of carbonite of bodies frozen in and the Mandalorian ship. This is what I was going to say earlier when we first saw the ship. The Mandalorian ship has a carbon chamber on board. I mean, really, how cool is that? Think about that a minute. Okay, so when he catches his bounty, he freaking freezes him in carbonite. Fantastic. You know, that's the kind of stuff that Jon Favreau come up with that Star Wars fans are going to love. There's Werner Herzog. And you may be thinking, nah, he's pronounced it Werner. So, like with a V. He's German, I believe. I would assume with a name like Herzog. And of course, it finishes off. It's November 12th. Like I said, it has been greenlit. And I mean, Favreau's kind of obsessed with this show. He's already gotten episodes written. The second season, and the first season hasn't premiered yet. So, and he was telling a story on the panel tonight about sending Filoni a script, okay? And it was during, and Filoni was like, hey, man, I'm on Christmas break. And then Favreau sent him a picture of some Boba Fett socks and said, I needed socks quicker than you're reading that script. Filoni was like, I better read the script. So that, I mean, you know, that's just great. Come back to 2007 with the Clone Wars and Iron Man. There's a fascinating story behind that. There we have it. That is the breakdown of the trailer and what I know that's coming, okay, and who's sort of playing what. I don't know what his bounty yet, but I think it's a child. That's the speculation, okay, and that he has sort of a moral dilemma about whether or not he should Cookie. Oh yeah, I got a cat that's all up in my business. So about a child, and he's got a dilemma about whether or not he should pursue said bounty or even protect this child. And my gut, if he decides to protect this child, who's coming after him? What other bounty hunters are going to want that kid? You know, how does Giancarlo Esposito's character, you know, does Werner Herzog put a bounty on the Mandalorian? And you may be wondering, well, we didn't see like any cameos or anything. They are saying very tight, there will be no characters that you know in this show. I don't know that I believe them. There's been heavy speculation. Katie Sackhoff could be Bo-Katan. Okay. about that on Collider, and all she did was stare really hard and smile and not answer. And she said Lucasfilm has got great non-disclosure agreements, and that's all she would say. But it was answered in the way that somebody was involved in this, because they asked her, "Do you want to be on the Mandalorian?" So anyway, you tell me what you think about the Mandalorian. What do you want to see? Peace. I'm out. Till next time.